talk about a lot of political things, but underneath all of that is the Bible. I am unapologetically 100% in favor of is the Bible. Jesus is the Word. There is no delineation. If the Bible says it, that's what Jesus is, and that's what Jesus believes. That's what this podcast is actually about, is to actually alert people to what is coming and what is our responsibility in the midst of it.
I understand, to your point here, that you don't want to broadcast everything for our adversaries to hear, but the American people also want to know what they're sending their men and women to war for. Is there a concern of this spiraling into a longer war? And then one for the chairman when you're done.
Did you not hear my remarks? I mean, we're ensuring the mission gets accomplished, but we are very clear-eyed, as the president has been, unlike other presidents, about the foolish policies of the past that recklessly pulled us in to things that were not tethered to actual clear objectives. So we know. We have plans, we have generals, we have chairmen, we have commanders, CENTCOM commanders, Admiral Cooper, who's executing very deliberately to ensure outcomes that I laid out are accomplished. But we would never, in front of a press pool, lay out how long that may take. The mission for our warfighters, which is what matters to us, is very, very clear. And they're executing it right now violently. Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel. This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it.
If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
We will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
So I would like to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was...
It doesn't matter. We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah,
So
well...
I would like to take a break at this moment.
Yeah,
I'd like to have
I'm
a
done
conversation.
for now.
Go off the record. Go off the record.
What is your first responsibility, protecting American citizens or illegal aliens?
I'm just getting ready for hearing. Thank you.
What is your first priority, illegal immigrants or American citizens? You don't want to tell the American people that you prioritize them first? Illegal aliens or American citizens?
We're not there to perform for this guy. It was a speech filled of a bunch of grievances.
But while he may make gains on the battlefield, he'll pay a continuing high price over the long run. And a pound of Ukrainian people, the proud, proud people, pound for pound, ready to fight with every inch of energy they have. Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people.
It's like I am called a domestic terrorist constantly by my government. My president just stood at the State of the Union and said the Democrats are evil monsters who should be killed. If that person...
No, the president did not say that. Wait a minute.
Okay,
no, you have to be accurate.
He said, I will be accurate. Okay, Tim,
for anyone to be killed. I'm sorry, that's
Tim, I will be accurate.
Yeah, the president never called for anyone to be killed.
Okay,
I just want you to be honest. I like you way too much to let me be that wrong.
Let me give her... Okay, Tim,
my point
let's give her
is,
an opportunity to correct what she said.
The American government is already...
He didn't
He did not say... He said we were the enemy and we were terrible. Would you say that that is fair?
I think he did say, he looked at the Democrats and said, these people are crazy. But Lee,
he said
I like you. I like you far too much to let you be that
he's
wrong.
right.
You cannot say the President of the United States called for him
Correct. I was being hyperbolic and I apologize.
Well, you have to be accurate, not hyperbolic.
Go ahead and please finish because we have to go.
My point...
The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
The difference.
Well, South Carolina's Fritz Hollins and his wife Beth Pizzi. By the way, you see Trump give the State of Union last night? Folks, I was asked 6 years ago. I knew they'd never let me down. But folks, as grateful I am to all of you who've done for me, that night 6 years ago was a whole lot more than about me. And by the way, I knew HBCUs were central to our education system. But HBCUs didn't have the endowments, who had fewer jobs when he left office than when he came into office. That's a fact. And the reason I was able to become many of the people sitting right in front of me. Think about it. Think about it. He doesn't mention Alex Petrie, that I had a long conversation with Jim about was the importance of connecting.
90% of the time, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
What is your message to Iran in this moment?
Don't.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care.
All right, Monday night, and we are live. Hope everybody's doing good as always. Be blessed in the mighty name of Jesus. Let me say it, everybody in the chat. Johnny F62 is on. Man, this thing is rolling. I can't even, holy moly, it's moving. All right, Johnny F62 is on. Robin Aroni is on. Sedensmore is on. Serene Pickle is on. Guitar Glenn is on. Auntie Mama 07 is on. Wait Away is on. JGCK is on. USA Abbey Girl is on. Agravane is on. Arcadia Angel is on. Wade Away is on. Mike Griffith is on. Volvo 960 is on. Let me see. Leon Fish Puppy is on. Big Jim Go Blue is on. Let me see. Andre K64 is on. Munkets 49 is on. Prayer Works 2 is on. Spaz 64 is on. TJT1 is on. Granite 24 68 is on. Veronica 18201 is on. Sheila K is on. Richard Perry is on. N. Johns is on. Spaz 64 is on. Linesmanson is on. Captain Cliff is on. Gloyd Shaw is on. Big Scott 1 is on. Mark 1069 is on. Deb Powell 50 is on. LA 106 Times is on. Let me see here, scrolling down. Milwaukee James is on. Snag Dog is on. Let me see, a couple people I haven't seen yet. Let me see. Charlie 340 is on. Clean Sanchez is on. Key Lime 13 is on. Intoxicated is on. Let me see here, scrolling down. Let me grab a couple more here and we'll get rolling. Rolling on Iran again. Peg McGroin is on. Let me see here. Trev McGroin is on. Scrolling down. I grab one or two more. Thunderbolt is on. Let me grab a couple more. Let me see here. Luann 5 is on. Mom for Boys is on. Let me see here. Jules 21 Hours is on. Stephen Tom's on. Love you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. All right, so here we are back in Iran again. As predicted by many, including me and most of you watching, that we would in fact be back in there. Now, I just want to state for the record before I get into any of this, I'm not for this war. I'm not for this attack. I'm not for it. But, again, there's buts because, again, you're dealing with humanity, so you are dealing with percentages. So what I'm going to do is flat out tell you, I don't think we should be doing this incursion. People will say, well, yeah, but what about what Khomeini has done? We could apply that to just about every nation on earth. What about what their leader has done? And eventually what has to happen in countries like this, because just so everybody knows, and most of you already know this, but Iran is not Arab. Iran is not Muslim. Iran is Persian. And they were taken over by Muslims, just like Germany is being taken over by Muslims, already gone to the place where they refuse to even form their own army because they don't want to put AK-47-esque weapons in the hands of all the Muslim men in their own country because Muslims are such a substantive percentage of their population now. France is gone. It's Muslim. The UK is going to be the very first nuclear Muslim nation on the planet, even according to what J.D. Vance has said. But anyway, so they're like, well, so what about, you think it's a better world with Khomeini? Well, again, you could say that about anybody. Eventually, what has to happen is what had to happen here in the United States in 1776 is that the populace has to rise up against their own leadership. And it's not even their leadership in Iran. It is a monarchical style Muslim dictatorship ruling over Persians. Again, this is not Saudi Arabia. This is Iran. It's not Iraq. It's Iran. These are Persians. They've been taken over just like London has been taken over by the Muslims and Sadiq Khan. So eventually what has to happen is you have to rise up. We may come to a place in this country where we have to rise up. We may come to that. I don't think it's going to be any time particularly super soon, but as the Muslim population continues to boom in our own country and we continue to allow them into the country, which we should not be. Again, you're allowed to choose your own religion here, but we shouldn't be importing Sharia law and jihadists into our country. But anyway, which we'll get to that also in a minute, because I've got Iran. Then I'm going to do a little bit of Epstein with the Clintons, and then we're going to the latest Muslim shooter. So it's basically in our country. It's either Muslims that are shooting everybody or it's transgender people that are shooting everybody. But back to Iran. So again, I'm not for this incursion, just like I wasn't for the first one. I can't be for the first one and I can't be against the first one, be for this one. But even if there was something different, unless it was dramatically different, I wouldn't be for it, because what are our vital interests? We go to war for our own vital interests, and there aren't any here. We're going to war again because we're Israel's dog to their tail, and we shouldn't be that way because they're a tiny little country, but they have a huge amount of AIPAC lobbying, $200 million Muriel Edelson gave to Donald Trump's campaign. Okay, so here we are again in this incursion. Now, I'm able to delineate. I don't see a Jew under every rock. I don't see that. I don't consider Jews to be the source of every problem in the world. I do consider them to be a source of many problems in the world. Okay, but we give them $4 billion a year. They don't need us to bomb Iran. They want to bomb Iran. They can bomb Iran. They can control the Persian Gulf. They can control the various waterways around there. They can do all the Straits of Hormuz. If they want to do those things, they can. But again, I can delineate. All right. So even though I don't agree with the incursion, I agree with how they're doing the incursion, because it's a surgical strike. It is quick. 6 military members have been killed because here we are fighting for Israel again. And we have no vital interest. Iran does not have a nuke. They're nowhere. Remember now, we've already gone through this timeline. Republican and Democrats, because they're two heads of the same snake, have been espousing since 1984 that the Iranians were days away from developing a nuclear weapon. Now, I'll ask Aaron, I'll ask Brent, I'll ask everybody who's watching, how many of us know that 1984, of which at the time I was 15, I'm now 57, that they weren't close then and they're not close now. And the same reasons are being given to us for this latest incursion.
Yep.
And you're like, Tom, I thought you were pro-Trump. I am, but I'm not a Trump worshiper. If you're a Trump worshiper, you're at the wrong podcast. There's many others. You can go. I'm not even going to name them because I don't want to cause it. I don't want to. My podcast is too small probably to cause a great divide. But because I don't think it's worthy of a schism inside of MAGA. I'm not, because last time, man, it all blew up. It was my side against, and I was called a illegitimate Trump supporter. Trump kicked me out of his own party, all those different things. Remember all? No, maybe that was over Epstein, wasn't it, Aaron? Was
No, it was Iran.
I got kicked out of Iran?
Fake MAGA.
Fake MAGA. That's right. I was fake MAGA. I got kicked out. I haven't worn a Trump shirt since.
Yep.
Because I still love Trump, and I do love him, but he kicked me out. And that's the way it was. And he never has retracted those comments. But anyway, which is fine. I mean, again, I wholeheartedly support him, and I like how he's doing this military action. I do. I like how it's being done, but it shouldn't be being done. And people will always use the typical example. Oh, so you're saying that you're pro Khomeini? No, pro Khomeini. And you're using if you use that argument, you're using the same argument as those who are espousing that we should be conducting military operations inside of Ukraine. If you don't, you're pro Putin. I mean, that's where the MAGA morons come in. All right, life is not that simple. If the people of Iran wanted Khomeini out, they could get him out. They don't do it. Why is it that we're responsible? And let's look at this too. Let's look at this. Let's Aaron, you can help me with this. Brent, you can help me. Whatever pops into mind, let me know. And Aaron, if you see something in the chat, let me know. Just don't send it to me. You just jump in and talk.
Yep.
Because that'll throw me off. Man, you guys are all over it. So let's talk about how many times these. Even though Pete Hegseth says this, and I don't like this statement either, and I love Pete Hegseth. He says that this isn't a regime change war, but the regime sure has changed. Okay, you know what? Why don't you just go join the Democratic Party?
Yeah.
Okay, and I love Hegseth. I still love him. Okay, I really do. I think he's a great Secretary of War. I'm just saying, it is a regime change. So for ease of conversation, or we can call it a military incursion, but that's too hard to say over and over again. Maybe I'll use incursion. Maybe I'll use regime change. But let's just look at our various incursions to try to change Muslim countries, shall we? How's that all worked out so far for us? Okay, Aaron's laughing.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I can remember back even further back, because I remember the first one, Aaron wasn't even born yet, or just had been born. The first Gulf War. It's funny how it's always the same. Herbert Walker Bush does one, then his son does one, then their CIA connected the CIA connected with the Obamas through the Sotoros. They do one. It's funny how that works every time, isn't it? Every time there's always some war in the Middle East, right? But anyway, so let's just go over it. As much as it pops in my mind, Aaron, if I forget some, throw them to me. So let's just go through them, shall we? Let's just go, I'll just, as they pop into my mind. How's Iraq working out right now? How's that going? I mean, we spent trillions there, lost, I don't know how many thousands upon thousands of military members. How's that right now? It's basically a country run by Muslim warlords. How's that? That is what Israel wants, however.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So mission accomplished for Israel, but not for us. Okay, so now let's go. How's Lebanon going? Because we spent hundreds of billions in Lebanon too. It's run by tribal warlords. Syria, run now by a Muslim tribal warlord. How's that going so far? So that's no good. So Afghanistan, how's that working out? Run by tribal Muslim warlords. Egypt, how's that working? Run by tribal Muslim warlords. Let's go.
Libya.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yep.
Libya, how's that working? Run by tribal Muslim warlords.
Sudan.
Sudan, run by tribal Muslim warlords. So shall I go on? So here we are now. You talk about the very definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So you think that you're going to take away their Navy, and you're like, isn't it a good thing that Iran doesn't have a Navy? Yes. Okay. I don't want to be gross, but it's almost like this. Okay. If you hate somebody in your life, all right, it would be better if they weren't there, but it doesn't license you to murder them. Correct. And I'm not even talking about murder as far as war or anything else. Right. Okay. Well, life is better but it doesn't license the action. That's exactly what's going on here. If Iran really wanted to be free, they could be free. The Lao Beijing in China could be free. They just don't have the balls to do it. I'm not saying that I would. I'm just saying they don't have the balls to do it. They don't have the 3% of the population balls. They don't have it. So they don't do it. So they're run by the mullahs. So there's all those countries right there. I'm probably leaving some out. Aaron, if you think of more, bark them out. I'm just wondering which one is eventually going to work out great. I mean, Israel gets what they want. Tom's not anti-Israel. I'm an Israel truther. I speak the truth about Israel. Israel receives $4 billion a year of military aid from us. Why? They're per capita far richer than we are. Why? They don't have $38 trillion worth of debt. We do. Why do we send them money? They're getting all their money from Pornhub and OnlyFans anyway. Why do they need our money? They get billions from those two organizations alone. So here we are again. 6 Americans have died. And what are we going to get out of it? I know one thing we'll get out of it. We'll go from $38 trillion to $39 trillion in debt.
Yep.
That we'll get. That's what always happens. So here's an overview of it from Grok so far. Overview of U.S. military action against Iran. As of today, this is at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Aaron, if there's anything pops into mind, let me know that I missed. The United States, in coordination with Israel, is engaged because Israel is threatened by Iran, so we have to be involved. We've already given them the most tactically sound missile air defense system on the planet. Do we do anymore? Do we really have to bomb Iran? Is engaged in a major military operation against Iran that began on February 28, 2026. This marks the third day of active conflict dubbed by some sources Operation Roaring Lion. The action follows heightened tensions over Iran's nuclear program. What heightened tensions? Go ahead. Tell me. Tell me the heightened tensions. Anybody? Is this just politics speak? Tom, I thought you were pro-Trump. I am pro-Trump. I'm not a sycophant for anybody but Jesus. Tell me this is Iran's heightened tensions over Iran's nuclear program. Can please somebody send me an article of how they've been heightened? Weren't we just told they were all destroyed? That's what we were told. Weren't we told that their nuclear program had been destroyed or set back 40 years?
Yep.
Okay, then how are they heightened? How does this make sense to anybody? Sure sounds like an Israel lobby.
Yep.
Doesn't it? Does it sound like an Israel lobby? You know, that Israel, and by the way, let me just throw this out to everybody. The same Israelis who want to blow up all these Iranians and Muslims and everybody else over there, and everybody knows I hate the Muslim faith. Who are the number one and number two facilitators of illegal migration in the United States of America? Can anybody name it? That'd be Catholic Family Services and Jewish Family Services. Receiving billions of dollars per year in NGO money. So they are facilitating Muslims into our country? Yes. Why? Because we are actually a threat to Israel. You're like, we're an ally. Are you sure? We're a threat to Israel.
Yep.
So they're the ones who espouse the term melting pot. They came up with that. You might think that's American. It's not. In every freaking country that doesn't belong to the Jewish banking system gets bombed.
Weird,
isn't it? Every single one of them gets bombed. And you're like, Tom, you sound like an anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Semite. Is it a Jewish banking system or is it not? Is Hollywood dominated by Jewish people or is it not? Okay. Did both ends of the central banking system that caused World War I were both ends owned by Jews? Jekyll Island and in Europe. Yes or no?
Yep.
Yeah, they're both brothers. The Bolshevik Revolution was caused by Jewish people.
Yep.
Many of our military secrets have ended up in the hands of China via Israel. Oh, but Tom, you're a Christian church. You should have your giant fake Star of David flag, which is not a Star of David, flag behind the stage on that too.
Yeah.
There is no Judeo-Christianity. It is Christianity only. Christ only. Every Jew who does not believe in Jesus is going to burn in hell for all of eternity. Every Muslim, every American, anybody. That's how it is. I am neither anti-Israel or pro-Israel. I'm Israel, just like the same as I am for Spain. The same as I am for the UK or Canada. I'm not pro-Canada. I'm not anti-Canada. I'm a Canadian truther. Mark Carney, who is the Prime Minister of Canada, is a globalist, leftist, bourgeois, elitist, baby butchering monster demon. That's who he is. There you go. And Benjamin Netanyahu is no different. That is the way that it is, folks. That is just simply the way that it is. It's not a matter. So here we go. Key objectives. The Trump administration, again from Grok, has outlined 4 primary goals for the operation. Oh, wait, let me say this. The action follows heightened tensions over Iran's nuclear program, which there are no heightened tensions, so that's a lie. Ballistic missiles, that's true. And support of regional militias. Which ones and why and what do these militias espouse? Are they as sound as some of the other militias we've backed? Like the Mujahideen? That's worked out really well for us because they now run Afghanistan and have slaughtered who knows how many Americans and all of our allied forces on the ground that were left there by the Biden administration. So are we really sure that we want to, again, go around and support regional militias? President Trump has described the strikes as preemptive response to imminent threats. That's all not true. I love Trump, but that's not true. What's the imminent threat? What? They don't have a missile delivery system that can deliver a missile past Israel. So how are they an imminent threat? Can anybody explain? Close the Straits of Hormuz. How long would it take us to reopen it? 4 seconds?
Yeah.
And they never would do it. And they never have done it because the thing is, not in any substantive way, because they know that that would give them, then the United States would be able to say that's an imminent threat. Because then you're dealing with, you're talking about absolutely a massive trade route shut off. So key objectives the Trump administration has outlined 4 primary goals for the operation. Destroying Iran's ballistic missile capabilities and production sites. Annihilating Iran's naval force is pretty much done. Neutralize threats in the Persian Gulf. Preventing Iran from advancing toward nuclear weapons. There, we were already told the program was destroyed. Weakening Iran-backed terrorists and militia networks across the Middle East, which again is a noble goal. But we've already been in so many wars over there that we could have already done that already. Trump has emphasized that the U.S. aims to easily prevail and achieve regime change if necessary without initially committing to ground troops. Listen, you end up with a ground troop operation over there, folks. Probably the end of the Republican Party. All right, you cannot go over there. Scale of operations, U.S. and Israel forces have struck over 2,000 targets in Iran, including air bases, radar systems, and leadership sites. They killed, obviously, the Ayatollah. Duration, Trump has stated the campaign is projected to last 4 to 5 weeks, but could extend far longer, quote, if needed to fully neutralize threats. Casualties, at least 6 U.S. service members have been confirmed killed in action. Iranian casualties, both military and civilian, are unconfirmed. Iranian response, Iran has threatened to set on fire any ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. They did in the Gulf of Oman, but I don't know about the Strait of Hormuz. And has reportedly launched strikes on U.S. allies, including new attacks in Qatar. Iranian forces, you know why they have to strike Qatar? You know why, Aaron? Because they can't reach anywhere else.
Yeah.
Iranian forces have also targeted U.S. and Israeli positions contributing to the U.S. deaths. Notable strikes, Israel has targeted sites leaked to pass crackdowns on Iranian protesters such as Abbas Abad police station in Tehran. Former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was reportedly killed in a raid. Well, and again, that's a good thing. He's a horrible person, and Khomeini's a horrible person. But does that mean that we should be there? In my opinion, absolutely not, because there's no vital American interest, and eventually because we could go to every dictator, because most of Africa is controlled by warlords. We could go to every one of those who are slaughtering their people by the thousands every year, including Christians, and take out every one of them. For the same reason. Why these? Well, again, why are we not taking out every day? I mean, again, we know that Trump took out Maduro, actually caught him and brought him back. That's the first time that's ever happened in American history. How many dictators are currently in South America right now? And we never do it there, but we do it only when it's in the vital interest of Israel.
Yeah.
But not here, not here in our own hemisphere. Not in our own direct strategic interests right here in our own hemisphere. We never take out anybody. It's weird, isn't it? We never do that here. And there's plenty of people who have committed absolute atrocities over here. We never take them out. But we take out Israel's neighbor, not our own neighbor. That's weird, isn't it? It's almost as if AIPAC is giving money to every single congressman in Congress right now, except for Thomas Massie. So out of 435, Aaron will love this, out of 435 people in Congress, and I don't know what the Senate is. I'm assuming it's all of the Senate.
Yeah.
Because so just go ahead and say it. Out of 535 members of Congress and the Senate, one does not receive AIPAC money. And there we are fighting another war.
Was he against the war?
Who's that, Massey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Interesting.
Isn't it odd?
Yeah.
And again, I'm delineating the two because I like how they're doing it. If you're going to do it, then do it Trump's way. Trump and Hegseth are strategic geniuses. They are doing well. They did great when they took out the Iranian nuclear sites, but now they're bombing them to saying that they took out their nuclear sites and eliminated their nuclear threat. And now because their nuclear tensions have risen, from what? We're striking again. I'm losing viewers as I speak. It's not pro-Trump. People leave. Okay, well, I'm never going to be that way. If I don't have a podcast, I don't have a podcast. It's just like I'm not going to stop preaching the Bible. That means that I'm not going to get along with and have a big American church. I want a big American church. Let's move to a side of a mountain somewhere and ski down the lift every day until Jesus comes back.
I'm coming.
Alone. Brent's going to move next door. And that'll be it. We'll just do a Bible study. I'll yell at Brent and his family every week. That'll be it. That'll be my church.
I'm down with that. I'm a lifer.
Yeah, he's like, Brent, you know why Brent came to the church? Brent came to the church because I said, could people bend over any further for the vaccine?
That's true.
That's why he came to the church. So that's the kind of person who'll never leave you. All right, so anyway, here we go. So let's break this down. Perinkle's The Great Video. The video is, this video has actually been confirmed by Gronk, is believed to show the moment when Khomeini and his leadership team was bombed and killed. Play for me. See, that's the whole thing. So there you go. So let's break down now. Let's go political. You know where I stand? I wasted 30 minutes talking about where I stood. So let's go political now because all the Democrats are against this war. You're like, well, Tom, you're against it too. Hey, I'm against it because there's no vital interest. Again, it's always when you're dealing with people, you're dealing with lies, you're dealing with moods, you're dealing with percentages, and you're dealing with motives. My motives are, I don't want Americans killed when there's no vital interest at stake. That okay, clear enough, Aaron?
Yep.
That's clear, right? I don't want a Vietnam because what did we gain? I don't want Afghanistan. I want Iraq. What did we gain? Nothing. $38 trillion in debt. A bunch of Americans dead. 38,000 Americans died in Vietnam. Or is it more than that? Is it 58? I can't remember. That's terrible. Remember. But anyway, Aaron looked it up for me, would you? Just so we know. Because I want to honor the vets. But anyway, so let's go political now. So again, Democrats are against this war. Why? Because Trump's doing it. That's it. They're hoping to score political points. They're all against this war, the exact same thing that Obama did a million times, which we're going to get into all those stats right now and show you the hypocrisy of the left. And for me, you'll always hear me against these things. I was against the Iraq war under George W. Bush. Against it, totally. Why? Because there's no vital interest at heart. There's no 58,000 American service members died in Vietnam. I think it's 39,000 maybe in Korea, but I don't remember. But anyway, I don't want that. Why? My dad fought in Vietnam. I don't want it. Because what did we gain? Aaron, have you ever enjoyed your time in Vietnam?
No.
Okay, me neither. You know why? Because there's nothing to enjoy. It's not ours. It's not the 51st state. Why were we there and had 58,000 of our service members die over there? For what? What did we get? What was our strategic interest? Nothing. 38 parallel. That was it? That's it? No, not enough. And same thing here. So now let's go political. Overton video. Senator Fetterman just exposed how fellow Democrats condemning President Trump's strikes in Iran likely haven't even read the War Powers Act. So you have all the idiots coming out, whoever they may be, on the left saying Donald Trump didn't have the right to do it because of the War Powers Act, which they all falsely claim says that the president has to go to Congress. And by the way, this is where Massey misses it too. I agree with Massey on the war, but here again, it's percentage. Everybody get this? Everybody get how it is with humans? That's how it is, including me. It's all percentages. Aaron likes me most of the time, but there's a percentage of the time he doesn't like me. And we're close friends. I mean, really close friends. Okay, so there is, even my wife, there's a percentage. There's a percentage that she goes, you know what, I could live without that. All right, and that's the thing. So that's how it is with people. So yeah, it's not all white hat versus black hat. Things are not. It's not all Khomeini. The world is better without Khomeini. All right, we're better without him individually, but are we going to be better with what comes in next? Are we sure? Because that hasn't worked out in any other country yet. Name the country it's worked out in. It's supposed to be great according to some people, it was supposed to be great after the Shah left Iran. How'd that work out? It's supposed to be great in Iraq after Osama bin Laden. I just lost, what's his name? Oh my gosh, what's the former leader of Iraq? Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was killed. Once I got Osama bin Laden stuck in my head. Osama bin Laden, the world was going to be better then. Has it gotten better in Iraq? Did it get better? We killed him in Pakistan, but did it get better in Afghanistan after Osama bin Laden was killed? No. And by the way, I even agree with that. It's not really a regime change. I agree with going and taking out Osama bin Laden. And by the way, I said that in support of the Obama administration because I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not like Democrats who are saying, you know what, this is an illegal war. You never, and again, it's protesting ICE when Trump's doing deportations, loving ICE when Obama's doing 3 times the amount of deportations. But anyway, here's Fetterman speaking on behalf of the War Powers Act. Play it for me.
Have people ever read the War Powers Act? You know, what's required of the president is to provide 48 hours of notification, and then he or she have 60 days, up to 90 days to withdraw those troops, you know, before Congress approves that. Neither of those have been activated. He did provide that to the Gang of Eight, and there are no American troops on the ground now. This was an incredibly precise and successful strikes, and they eliminated most of the leadership. So here we are. So yes, I do support that. You know, why can't the entire world celebrate that he's dead for what he's done to?
That's what you have to, and that's what you have to do. In order if you're going to live in the realm of politics where there's no white and black hats, you have to be able to do what I'm doing right now, which is to say, I don't want the incursion, but man, Trump has done a great job with the incursion. Hegseth has done a great job with the incursion. Israel has done a great job with the incursion. They have done a great job. And for Democrats to falsely claim in hierarchical, hypocritical fashion that this is a violation of the War Powers Act, Fetterman lays it out. You know, this is quote, you know what's required in the president to provide 48 hours of notification. Did he do it? Yep. And then he or she has 60 days, up to 90 days to withdraw the troops before having to ask for permission from Congress. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. He had every right to do what he did. I don't like what he did, but he had every right to do it. And he's doing a great job doing it. That's just the facts. That's just the way that it is. And Fetterman's right. President Trump did not violate the War Powers Act in any way, shape, or form. He's got 90 days. And we're on day 3. So, you know, he's got 87 more days before he has to withdraw the troops. But by the way, all he has to do is withdraw the troops and do it again. That's the way it is. And then he's got the 90 days again. Let's go to the next one. RNC research video. This is why this action was taken. Democrat Rep. Jason Crow showed a screen of Americans who have suffered and been killed at the hands of an Iranian regime. Listen, I like that the people, again, I don't support the incursion, but I like the fruits of it. To some extent, I don't support it, but I like the fruits of it because I like the killers of Americans being killed. That is a good thing. And if you're going to be a Democrat and you're going to come out and say, I'm against this thing, then you had to be against all the ones that Obama did, which I was. See, it doesn't matter for me whether it's Republican or Democrat. If vital American interests are not at hand, then I don't care. Then we shouldn't be doing it. But that's not the way the Democrats are. RNC Research video. Play for me.
I just want to roll this scroll. These are different Iranian operations since 1979 that have killed or abducted nearly 1,000 Americans when you add all of these up. At some point, do you believe that this tyrannical regime had to be stopped?
There's no doubt that it was a tyrannical regime. It is the largest sponsor of state terror in the world. Their malignant behavior around the region was horrible. You know, I saw young soldiers being killed by roadside bombs because of this regime. That is absolutely true. That is the first part of the analysis, though, Martha. We can't just stop and say, hey, they're bad, they're evil, they do bad things, so we should do anything we need.
But he had absolutely no problem when any Democrat does it. Let's delve deep into Iran here. Sebastian video. When asked about her role, this is Senator Slutkin. When asked about her role in Obama's secret cash pallets sent to Iran, Senator Slotkin dodged Iran. Play for me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Alyssa. I have daughters that graduated from the same high school as you, so I'm just asking, I want to find out what your involvement was in the Iran deal with the pallets of cash that were sent to.
We have to do a few media interviews, I'm sorry.
But did you have any involvement in that? Is that why you're not answering me? Because you were involved in that deal with Obama to send the pallets of cash over to Iran that supported terrorism? You don't have any comment?
What are we talking about here? What was Elise Slutkin part of? Well, let's look. Wall Street Ace video. Barack Obama gave $1.7 billion delivered in cash to Iran. Play for me.
Obama left office, he sent $1.7 billion in cash to Iran. The money was delivered in actual cash, stacked on pallets and flown into the country. It happened in January 2016 when Obama authorized the transfer of the money to the nation known for sponsoring terrorism. The funds were allegedly part of a long-standing financial obligation stemming from a pre-1979 agreement. Prior to the Iranian Revolution, the United States had committed to supplying Iran with military equipment. However, following the revolution, the transaction was abandoned, leaving Iran to claim reimbursement for the $400 million initially paid. With the accrued interest, this amount spiked to $1.7 billion. The Obama administration decided to resolve the debt. On January 17th of 2016, an aircraft arrived in Iran carrying $400 million in cash loaded onto pallets. The remaining balance of the $1.7 billion was delivered in subsequent shipments. Now, as Israel continues its attacks on Iranian nuclear and military sites, President Donald Trump is deciding how involved the United States will become in this war. Many pointing straight back to Obama as the reason Iran had the funding to continue paying for terror and start building up their nuclear program.
Again, now all of this is deliciously complex if you look at it, because you have people on the left who are vehemently anti-Israel, and you have people on the left who are vehemently pro-Israel to the place where you're not allowed to utter a word anti-Israel, or you've committed a crime in their eyes, the anti-Semitical crime. The ADL, Jonathan Greenblatt. It's all deliciously complex, isn't it? So you have anti-Semite, anti-Israel, President Obama and Biden giving billions of dollars to Iran. Remember, that was also Biden doing that. Why? Because they are vehemently anti-Israel and pro-Muslim. But what's so deliciously complex about this is that Israel facilitates Muslims into other people's countries, but not their own. Weird, isn't it? Think about it. You have these anti-Israel people on the left who are pro-Muslim, thinking that they're defeating Israel, but Israel's actually sending Muslims into their countries to take them over. Tom, okay, just look at the border. Jewish Family Services has facilitated hundreds of thousands of Muslims into our countries through our southern border. You know why? Because no one's righteous, no, not one. Because everybody's got self-interest, and Republicans, Democrats, left and right have self-interest. And unless you are guided by the Holy Ghost through salvation that's found through the blood of the Lamb, through Jesus Christ, you cannot be righteous. And that doesn't mean that Christians are automatically righteous when they get saved. They're righteous when they're being obedient. Yeah. But everybody else has got all. That's why it's also deliciously complex. You have the Rashida Tlaibs and the AOCs in the same party as Jonathan Greenblatt, as Alan Dershowitz, same party. Jonathan Greenblatt says that saying America first is an anti-Semitic comment. Same party as AOC. The same party that sides with Muslims is anti-Israel, who sends Muslims into Democratic Party states and cities. Weird, isn't it? It's because everybody is out for their own interest. Everybody is selfish. If you're not saved, then you have nothing else to care about but yourself. Like what I care about, number one thing that I care about is, am I pleasing God?
Yeah.
I can't please God and be a liar who facilitates Muslim immigration into a country. I can't please God and be a roadside jihadist. So you can't, neither one are righteous. That's my point in all of this. And if you're somebody who's like, you know what, I just want to believe that there's good and bad. There is no good or bad. There's Christ, there's Antichrist. That's it. All our righteousnesses are as filthy, rotten rags. I add the word rotten. That's it. Let's look at this one. The two older millennial videos. We'll play them both in a row, Brent. Both of them are older millennial videos on Obama's stats bombing other countries that Democrats had no problem with. Play them for me.
Senate must be called back into session immediately. Donald Trump conducted an illegal.
Hey, Senator Markey, I did some digging on you because I wanted to make sure that you were in office, back when Obama was president. And I searched and I searched and I searched and I could not find a single instance of you calling for the removal of President Obama because he struck other countries without your approval. I did, however, find a lot of instances of you calling for the impeachment of President Trump. Back in 2019, you publicly called for him to be impeached because of the Mueller report. And back in 2020, you voted to remove him from office. And after January 6th, you called for him to be impeached for that, as well as invoking the 25th Amendment to try to remove him from office, where you again voted to have him removed. And then, right after Trump got elected this time, you called for him to be impeached because you said he was unable to perform his duties. Oh, and you also called for the removal of Kristi Noem because of ICE. So Ed, don't take this the wrong way, but it seems kind of weird that you had a president where, when he was the president, you were in the Senate, and he struck 7 other nations with more than 26,000 bombs, and you never once called for his removal. Yeah, it's almost like we shouldn't take you fucking seriously because you just hate Trump. Posts like this show that the leftists are all about the views and not talking about what actually happened. Because Isaiah Martin here, the content creator turned failed politician back to being a content creator, he said if Obama did this, they'd be demanding impeachment. Community Notes just informed him that Obama did this and more. He did it in Libya, Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, Iraq, and Syria. In all those instances, he bombed the shit out of foreign countries, never declared war, never got congressional approval. Oh, and how did the Democrats feel about it back then? I commend the President of the United States for his leadership. Gaddafi's horrific brutality against his own people will not be tolerated and must stop. #Libya. Just to be clear, Democrats, if a leader is horrific to his own people, you support bombing the shit out of them. You support regime change. That's what Nancy told us. That's what Obama told us. Okay, cool. Iranian's government was awful to its people, murdered more than 30,000 of them. And Trump's response was to just do a fraction of what.
So there you go. And that's exactly it. And again, everybody's got their own, that's good enough, Aaron, their own self-interest. That's it. And this is simply it. There's Obama, Libya, Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, Iraq, and Syria. He bombed them all without an ounce, without ever asking for congressional approval. And then Senator Ed Markey never said a word. Not one word. He was a senator the entire time. Not one word was ever said. Because all he cares about is his own self-interest. So the only time he ever espouses the War Powers Act, which he wrongly espouses, he espouses it only when Trump's president. That's it. And when Trump actually bombs another country, but has no problem. And by the way, this goes for every Democrat, whether it was Jason Crow on Fox News, whoever it is, whatever Democrat, whether it's AOC or anybody else that claims this is an illegal war. They had absolutely no problem whatsoever. When Biden did it, when Obama did it, even when George W. Bush did it, they didn't have a problem with it because George W. Bush is one of them. I'm gonna skip the next 3. Let's go to Glockford Files, because the next 3 are all about Democrats. Basically, espoused. Next 3 slides are all about. I want to do something different before we get off because I get tired of talking about the same thing. All about Democrats who are 100% for Obama's action. Got Nancy Pelosi when Barack Obama was dropping bombs left and right across the Middle East from Lance Gooden. Hillary Clinton in 2008. I want the Iranians to know that if I'm president, we will attack Iran. And now, of course, all of them are now saying that Trump is conducting an illegal war. All crap. Oh, it's not illegal. I just don't want it. It's not illegal. And he's doing a great job executing it. I hope no more Americans get killed. 6 is way too many when there's no vital interest at hand. But anyway, great job conducting the war. I'm just not for the war. All right, so let's move on to Jeffrey Epstein for a little bit here. Glockford Files video. It's funny that Bill Clinton thinks, Clintons and both the Clintons ended up testifying before Congress. And I was wrong. See those vital words right there? I was wrong. Those vital 3 words right there. I was wrong. I never thought they'd ever testify, but they did in a closed door hearing. They testified under oath. But I could show you. I'm going to spend a substantive amount of time on it right here. But I do want to. I've got to get to the Muslim shooter though, so I'm not going to be able to spend too much time on it. But I could spend the whole show on this. I couldn't do it because of Iran, but I could spend 30, 40 minutes on it with ease. But I'm not going to. I didn't do it because nothing was really said of substance in the hearings. There really wasn't anything that was like, oh man, it just rocked my world. We really think Bill and Hillary are suddenly going to be soothsayers of truth? I mean, like eventually they're suddenly going to be people who tell the truth under oath? Obviously not. But anyway, so Glockford Files video. It's funny that Bill Clinton thinks anyone would ever believe a word he says, given all the lies he has told us. Play it for me.
And when I was in England, I experimented with marijuana a time or two, and I didn't like it, and didn't inhale, and never tried it again.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false.
First, I had no idea of the crimes Epstein was committing. No matter how many photos they show of me, I have 2 things that at the end of the day matter far more than any interpretation of 20-year-old photos. I know what I saw, and more importantly, what I didn't see. And I know what I did, and more importantly, what I didn't do. I saw nothing and I did nothing wrong.
That's a focus group's tested statement. I know what I saw and didn't see. I know what I did and didn't do. That was focus group tested. He thinks that's going to wow us all. All right, we all know who you are, Billy. All right, Tosca Austin video. Hillary Clinton, the ultimate enabler. She even, of course, we know the ultimate enabler. What does she do every single time? She besmirched all of the people that claim to have been victimized or had extramarital relationships with Bill Clinton. Play for me.
You were in the Oval Office area and you touched her breast. Would she be lying?
Let me say something about all this.
All I really need for you, Mr. President, is to say I won't answer under the previous grounds or to answer the question. You see, because we only have 4 hours and your answers are extremely lengthy.
But go ahead and ask your question.
The question is, if Monica Lewinsky says that while you were in the Oval Office area, you touched her breast, would she be lying?
That is not my recollection. My recollection is that I did not have sexual relations with Ms. Lewinsky, and I'm staying on my former statement about that.
If she
my statement is that I did not have sexual relations as defined by that.
If she says that you kissed her breast, would she be lying?
I'm going to revert to my former statement.
Okay. If Monica Lewinsky says that while you were in the Oval Office area, you touched her genitalia, would she be lying? That calls for a yes, no, or reverting to your former statement.
I will revert to my statement on that.
If Monica Lewinsky says that you used a cigar as a sexual aid with her in the Oval Office area, would you be lying? Yes, no, or won't answer.
I will revert to my former statement.
If Monica Lewinsky says that you had phone sex with her, would she be lying?
Well, that is, at least in general terms, I think is covered by my statement. I addressed that in my statement, and that I don't believe it's...
Let me define phone sex for purposes of my question. Phone sex occurs when a party to a phone conversation masturbates while the other party is talking in a sexually explicit manner. The question is, if Monica Lewinsky says that you had phone sex with her, would she be lying?
I think that is covered by my statement.
January 1998, Bill Clinton is furiously and falsely denying a sexual relationship with a White House intern. And one day later, First Lady Hillary Clinton blames not the president, but his political foes.
The great story here, for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president.
In private conversations later, notes taken by a longtime friend say Hillary Clinton dismissed Lewinsky as a narcissistic Looney Tune. And while she called her husband's behavior grossly inappropriate, she said the affair was consensual and hinted it was spurred by the political pressure he faced. It was a lapse. To his credit, he tried to break it off, tried to pull away, but it was beyond his control. Her handling of the matter is complicated. For example, when she says survivors of sexual assault have a right to be believed, her critics summon the names of women who have accused her husband of just that.
Would you say that about Johnita Broderick, Kathleen Wiley, and/or Paula Jones? Should we believe them as well?
Well, I would say that everybody should be believed at first until they are disbelieved based on evidence.
What role, if any, did you play in criticizing the character of the women who have accused Bill of sexual misconduct?
None.
If somebody's willing to pay you $130,000 or $170,000 to say something, and you get your 15 minutes of fame, and you get your picture on the front page of every newspaper, and you're some failed cabaret singer who doesn't even have much of a resume to fall back on, and what's there she's lied about. You know, that's the daughter of Willie Horton, as far as I'm concerned.
She's such a sweetie, isn't she? She's such a sweetheart. So here's Bill. After all these lies from both Bill and Hillary, here's what Bill wants us to believe. Here's a statement from Bill that he wants us to believe. Call and Rug video. Former President Clinton says he had no idea. I know what I saw, and I didn't see. I know what I did, and I didn't do, of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, despite all the photos of him with Epstein. Play it for me.
So here's what I told the committee. First, I had no idea of the crimes Epstein was committed. No matter how many photos they show of me, I have two things that at the end of the day matter far more than any interpretation of 20-year-old photos. I know what I saw, and more importantly, what I didn't see. And I know what I did, and more importantly, what I didn't do. I saw nothing and I did nothing wrong. As someone who grew up in a home with domestic violence, not only would I not have flown on his plane if I had any inkling of what he was doing, I would have turned him in myself and led the call for justice for his crimes, not the sweetheart deal that he got. But even with 20/20 hindsight, I saw nothing that ever gave me real pause. We're only here today because Epstein hid it from everyone so well for so long. And by the time it came to light with his 2008 guilty plea, I had long stopped associating with it. When the video of my testimony today is released, I hope it will motivate everyone to go in front of Congress to say what they know. I hope it will motivate the Justice Department to finally release all the files and to ensure that this never happens again. The survivors deserve that.
Witnesses who testified in the Epstein cases that Epstein said, you quote, like them young. Why would Epstein say that about you?
Are you asking his opinion? You're asking him to think about why Mr. Epstein would say something about him?
Why would Epstein say that about the
president? So she's asking you to try to be in Mr. Epstein's mind and guess at what Mr. Epstein would have thought about.
Clinton likes them young, referring to girls.
First of all, that's not true.
What's not true?
That I have any interest in underage.
I didn't say underage, I said young.
But it's still not true.
Is an intern young?
Yes.
Okay.
At my age, anybody younger than I am.
Did you know Jeffrey Epstein instructed a witness to deny you were ever on his island?
He didn't have to since I was never there.
Did you ever travel to Zorro Ranch?
Is that the one in New Mexico?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Have you ever flown on anyone else's private jet 26 times or more for overseas trips?
I have flown as many miles on other jets, but never with as many stops.
How many other people's planes have you used, like Epstein 26 times or miles, etc.?
I don't know. I did with Steve Bing, who's now deceased, and probably with 4 or 5 others.
Okay. So maybe about a half dozen billionaires total. So how many dinners did you have with Ghislaine Maxwell or Jeffrey Epstein in attendance?
She's asking to the best of your recollection.
I have no idea.
Okay. Did you ever discuss sexual misconduct allegations made against you with Epstein or Maxwell?
Never.
Did Epstein or Maxwell ever offer to help manage or silence women who made sexual misconduct allegations against you?
No.
Did Epstein or Maxwell ever offer financial support directly or indirectly to legal defense funds related to impeachment proceedings or civil actions against you?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you think a young girl massaging a president is unusual?
So are you asking his opinion?
Well, he was massaged by a young woman. I'm asking if he thinks it's unusual that a president, sitting president of the United States, leader of the free world, that
So
it's
I'm sorry,
unusual.
are you speaking to, are you talking to the instance of
Yes, is it unusual that
the
a
back
young woman would be
massage
massaging?
that occurred while he was not president? I'm just trying to understand. You said a president of the United States?
Former president.
Thank you. Just trying to make sure we're correcting the
Are you
time frame.
filibustering?
No, I don't need
Okay.
to. I'm actually trying to make sure that as you...
pretty clear. He said he
You
was
said he was a sitting president.
Excuse me, could we just please go one at a time? Thank you.
You said a sitting president. I want you to be clear so that when he answers
Former
you,
sitting
the
president.
record is
How do you want to
clear.
do it? Is it unusual?
I have no idea if it's unusual.
Objection calls for speculation.
I figured. Did you ever think that all these women around Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell was odd, unusual, weird, or creepy?
There weren't all that many around when I was there.
How many would you say is?
All right, so I just wanted to see, it goes on for another couple minutes, so you can watch it much more, but I have to get to this. Let's get, I have a whole section on, I talked about Iran too long as usual, but I had to go with this because, talking about Iran, talking about Muslims, everything else. So the latest, or I believe the latest, you never know if I missed anything, but the latest shooting that's been covered, of course, was a Muslim. Aaron, if you side by side that, there's the guy that committed it. Raw's Alert's video, breaking. Watch his newly released video captures the moment the gunman identified as 53-year-old, I don't have any clue how to pronounce this name, Nadiaga Dianj, originally born in Senegal, opened fire at a bar in Austin, Texas, early Sunday morning, killing 3 people and injuring 14 others. Authorities say the suspect was wearing a shirt, reading, can anybody guess? Property of Allah, in an undershirt displaying the Iranian flag. A Koran was later found inside his vehicle. Play it for me.
Oh my God! What is going on?
Oh, what's going on is another Muslim shooting up a group of people. Whatever I was going to say bar. I can't remember whether it's bars or not. Of course, we had the Muslim instigated mass shooting in Florida at the gay bar down in Florida. But here we are once again. It's either Democrat imported Muslims or Democrat created transgender shooters. Those are the ones that are, and then because of the crime that they caused, that they caused, and guns are used, they'll use those incidences as excuses to come and confiscate your firearms, which again is a micro part of their agenda. So here, let me show you this. So he comes from Senegal. So let's go back to the Biden administration in 2023 and wokeness video. Unvetted males from Senegal across the U.S. border in Texas. Play it for me.
How you doing? Where are you from?
Senegal.
Senegal. Where are you going?
New York.
New York. Thank you, sir. You?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
Nicaragua.
Thank you. Where are you from?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
North Carolina.
Thank you, sir. You? Where are you from?
Senegalese.
Where are you going?
Senegal.
Thank you, sir. Where are you from?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
Senegal.
Thank you. Where are you going?
New York.
From where?
Yeah.
Senegal? Thank you. Where are you from?
From Senegal.
Where are you going?
Columbus.
Columbus, Ohio. Thank you, sir. And you?
Guinea.
Where are you going?
Columbus.
Columbus. Thank you.
So there you go. I just want to thank the Democratic Party once again for inviting the mass shooters. As a matter of fact, not inviting, actually bringing in the killers of American citizens. 3 American citizens died. 14 were shot. 14 other shots, so 17 casualties in a Muslim mass shooting again. Western Lensman video, don't worry, Ilhan Omar's all over this. Our country should be more fearful of, play it for me.
A lot of conservatives in particular would say that the rise in Islamophobia is a result not of hate, but of fear, a legitimate fear, they say, of quote-unquote jihadist terrorism, whether it's Fort Hood or San Bernardino or the recent truck attack in New York. What do you say to them?
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization.
Should be profiling and monitoring white men in America. It's so funny because Mehdi Hassan asked her the question. He goes, and he's an idiot, who calls everybody outside the Muslim faith dogs. But anyway, that's a fact, by the way. You can pull that up on Twitter. But anyway, he goes, because of, the Fort Hood mass shooting, the San Bernardino mass shooting, the Fort Hood mass shooting that was perpetrated by a Muslim, San Bernardino mass shooting perpetrated by a Muslim, and the truck attack where a Muslim ran over a bunch of people, killing a bunch of people. Because of those silly little incidences, people think that Muslims commit mass crime and mass shootings. I'm naming all these mass crimes and mass shootings that they've committed, mass homicides that Muslims exclusively have committed, and people are accusing them of committing mass homicides. That's something, Aaron. Can you help me does that make sense?
Yeah,
and then what does she say? Her response is, the number one threat, Ilhan Omar, our country should be more fearful of white men than anybody else. Where are the white men ever doing this? Can anybody find me one? Find me one. Find me one. I want a mass shooting of a white guy that's not trans.
Right.
Show it, please. Show it to me. I would love to see it. Show it to me, please. Don't go. You can go. You know what? If you have to go all the way back to Columbine, fine. Where? I'm just curious where exactly this is happening. I would love to see it. White men. I'm not talking about school shootings necessarily, but even if you have to go, you can. And then let's compare that, statistically speaking, with Muslims. And that this religion, how is it that you look, you're Mehdi Hassan, you are a Muslim yourself, speaking to another Muslim, and you're saying, look at all the crimes that Muslims exclusively commit, and then people accuse them of exclusively committing them. Aaron, help me.
I can't.
You gotta find a way.
I can't do it.
I know, you can't. You can't do it.
I can't do it.
He tried. All right, so this is real life. This is what it looks like when you unleash Muslims in America. Crazy Clips video. Play for me.
We won't ignore what our intelligence agencies have determined to be the most lethal terrorist threat to the homeland today. White supremacy is terrorism.
White supremacy, of course, Biden can't speak because he's a pudding sucking moron. But anyway, white supremacist terrorism is the number one threat to America. Again, show me the videos. I would love to see them. You're a Democrat and you espouse these things. Show me the videos. Show me the videos of how the guns are doing it. I would love to see that, how a gun marches into that bar, restaurant that this Muslim just was. I won't be able to pronounce his name anyway. Oh, man, how long ago was that? Freaking, there it is. 53-year-old Senegal Democratic Party import. Just show me how the gun marches in there does it without the Muslim that you imported into the country. And and we showed you out right after that, all the men from Senegal. There's no women, it's just men that Democrats are importing into this country via, just to remind everybody, Jewish family services and Catholic family services at the border, facilitating these people into the country. But I'm pro-Israel. Well, the Israel is infiltrating America with Muslims. Well, I'm anti-Israel. Well, Israel is infiltrating America with Muslims. That's a fact, by the way. There's no denying any of this, just so you know. There's no denying any of it, and it's complex. But some things are complex. We need to rise up as a movement and not be afraid of being called Islamophobic or anything else, and say, we don't want Muslims imported into the United States of America. We support freedom of religion. If you want to be stupid enough to follow Muhammad, then you can be stupid enough to follow Muhammad. That's fine. Perfectly fine. Go ahead and do that. Just like those dumb enough to be a Jehovah's Witness, those dumb enough to be a Mormon, those dumb enough to follow Buddha or any other religion. That's fine. Go ahead. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and life. No man cometh unto the Father but by him. But anyway, John 14:6. But anyway, you have the right to do that, but we certainly do not need to import our own shooters. Does everybody agree on that? And listen, I want to show you this from Andrew Kitchen. Rational Post video. This is the warning. And you look at where the UK is at today, where it is today. He effing told us this would happen. Play it for me.
Give it up or give it to your deadliest enemy and pay for the rope that will choke you. This is very urgent business, ladies and gentlemen. I beseech you. Resist it while you still can, and before the right to complain is taken away from you, which will be the next thing. You will be told you can't complain because you're Islamophobic. The term is already being introduced into the culture as if it was an accusation of race hatred, for example, or bigotry, whereas it's only the objection to the preachings of a very extreme and absolutist religion. Watch out for these symptoms. They are not just symptoms of surrender, very often ecumenically offered to you by men of God in other robes, Christian and Jewish and smarmy ecumenical. These are the ones who will hold open the gates for the barbarians. The barbarians never take a city till someone holds the gates open for them. And it's your own preachers who will do it for you, and your own multicultural authorities who will do it for you. Resist it while you can. And if you wonder what will happen if you don't, look and see how a cricket team in Middlesex in England had to change its name by force last week because it was called, and had been for years, the Middlesex Crusaders. Look and see how stories about little pigs can't be taught to children in English schools anymore, lest offense be taken by the religion of peace. Resist it while you can.
One of the things that is coming up over and over again is Islamophobia. And, well, you can see the stats, you can see the numbers rising, particularly since October the 7th. Although we shouldn't fall into the trap of thinking that before October the 7th, this was all heading in the right direction. It's been far too high for far too long. Clearly, we need to just say over and over again, Islamophobia is intolerable. It can never, ever be justified. And we have to continue with a zero tolerance approach. And I think there's more we can do in government. There's certainly stuff online which I think needs tackling much more robustly than it is at the moment.
What I'm hoping, Kerry, is your experience as a prosecutor means you'll be thinking about the strategy we can use to make sure we take action.
I butchered his name, by the way. That's Christopher Hitchens. Christopher Hitchens is the name. Actually, absolutely brilliant guy. But anyway, they just warned you. You know what? Resist while you can. Now, here's his own country. This is what he warned about. Radio Genoa video. Here he is after winning the election as city councillor in Leeds, UK. The UK is in serious trouble. Play it for me.
We will not be silent. We will raise the voice of Gaza. We will raise the voice of Palestine. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
That was a great countdown by Brent right there. There's Brent's countdown. He gave me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But anyway, so this is just elected in the UK. This is elected in the UK. And what does Keir pro-child molester Starmer say? What does he say? The problem inside of the UK is Islamophobia. That's the problem inside of the UK. You know what the problem inside of the UK is? White hatred. That's the problem inside of the UK. Hating, self-loathing white people. That's the problem inside of the UK. Or we need white people, effeminate white men, liberal white women. That's the problem inside the UK, that they actually believe, you know what? Because I'm for these people, I'm safe because I'm for them. They're never gonna, actually impose the caliphate upon me. They're never going to impose Sharia law upon me. They would never kill me because I'm a leftist white woman who supported them. They would never force me to cover my face and my entire body. You know what? They won't force you. They'll tell you to do it, and if you don't do it, you get a bullet between your eyes. That's what's coming. Look at this guy. What does he yell? Allah Akbar. And that's what just got elected to a political position inside of the UK. Unfreaking believable. All right, 10:15. That's good. All right, we got any rants tonight?
We've got two.
We got two rants. Hit 'em.
TX Billy donated $50. Buy up all the gold, then control the oil. Feels like Monopoly.
Amen, Texas Billy. That is what you own all the gold, you own all the oil. Who's going to touch you? Excellent advice. Go to the next one for me.
Joel's 21 hours ago donated $10. Prayer requests, please, for my gunny boy and God's miraculous healing.
All right, Jules, we pray over. I don't know if it's your son or I just pray over Gunny Boy, whoever that is. Your son or relative or the Lord, we just pray over him right now. Lord, we ask you we just receive right out of the covenant of Jesus, Lord. Healing for him, restoration for him right now through the power of the Holy Ghost. And by saying amen, we mean so be it. Amen and amen. Praise you, Lord. All right, there we go. Stick around for the post game. It is awesome as always. Back here tomorrow night, as always, at 9 o'clock. Love you guys. One last time. God bless you.
Do you think you could have a little dangles and maybe put this hockey ball with this stick into that hole right there for a $100,000 donation to a charity of your choosing?
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Let's go. Let's do this before we let you get on the road.
Off, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We use this one here. You're going to be up yon.
It's slanted a bit. Be careful.
Listen, I don't know if you're going to be able to handle this right here. Okay. Ball hockey. Did you grow up playing any ball hockey or are you strictly ice? Hold on. Don't shoot yet. Hold on, please. We would like to build the moment. Oh, you got pretty good dangles there.
Silky mitts.
Silky mitts.
What'd you say?
Charlie McAvoy wants to kick a destiny. I think he said that to you when we FaceTimed you, right?
Yeah, he said he wanted to do a field goal kick, yeah.
He wants that. He wants one of those.
I like the way you boys are trying to angle it to more money. Okay, I do. I really do appreciate that. Okay, have you ever, is this seemingly an easy task for you as an actual hockey player? Because we looked at it and we assumed you'd be able to accomplish it, but not 100% sure because this is an abnormal thing.
I actually am nervous right now because this looks kind of hard.
Jackie scored the fucking gold.
But I'm on the Pat McAfee show. I want to make this shot.
There is not 26 million people watching. That was the Olympic gold medals. $100,000 to a charity of your choosing if you're able to put that ball into that hole right over there. Jack Hughes, you've made your entire country proud. You've made all of hockey proud. And now you can win $100,000 to a charity of your choosing. Jack, put it in the hole.
Oh, my God.
Never a doubt.
Butter.
Never a doubt.
That's a nail gun right there.
Yeah,
it's a nail gun.
Bit of a nail gun.
Hey, not a squid at all.
Yeah, you're a bitch. What's up? What's up? Hey, get on the ground now. Get on the ground, man. Roll over. Roll over or you will be taken down. Okay, I'm rolling over. I'm on your stomach now. I'm assisting. Put your hands behind your back. I'm assisting. You're going to shoot me after you fucking...
Oh no, I'm totally fine. I just am spending my day off watching videos of Obama and Biden being kind and generous and joyful in the White House and like having fun and leading by example and but no, I'm totally fine.
Good boy, Asher. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy, Asher. Take that guy. Yeah, good boy. Here you go, Asher. Here you go, buddy. Yeah, good boy. Be ready to roll. Be ready to go. We're going back to the 80th compound. You're gonna get bit! You're gonna get bit! You're gonna get bit! Asher, take this guy! Take this guy, Asher! Take this guy right here, Asher! Right here, Asher! Take that guy! Take him! Take him! Take him, Asher! Take him, Asher! Yeah, take that guy! Good boy! Good boy, Asher! Take that guy! Put your hand behind your back! You're gonna keep me a bit! Take that guy, Asher! Hand behind your back! Hand behind your back! Good boy, Asher! Good boy! Good boy! Yeah, good boy, Asher! Take that guy! Yeah, good boy! Good boy! Good boy! Watch that guy, Asher! Watch! Good job, Asher! Good job, Asher! Good boy, dude! Yeah, dude!
But this is the absolute truth. I did 1,200 abortions, first and second trimester. 1 was for rape, 2 were for incest, about 9 or 10 were for genetic defects like trisomy 21, and all the rest of them were healthy moms and healthy kids. People believe what they want to believe, and they don't want to believe that, but that is the truth.
Yeah.
I killed 1,200 kids. How can you make up for even one of them? I can't. So now I do everything I can to save as many as I can.
Don't do it, dude! Don't do it! Watch out, watch out! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Go! Get out of the car! Freeze! Still car 257, headed northbound on Jerome, higher speed. 6 behind him, 6 behind him. Jerome, I mean. 17 units to the drive. Down there. 52. Approaching Route 6. You did have his life on him. He's approaching Route 6. He's way ahead of me right now. First lane does not have any lights on. Cluster hit once or twice on the down Brook Street, southbound down Brook. We'll need to put the garage for Chris. Southbound on Brook, if that's not someone down there, you activated the lights. Once you guys go to an event one or something like that, you can hear the radio.
Frank, is everything clear?
Yeah. I need some caution tape down here as well.
one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx. I'm like,
So can we
what the
finally
hell?
put that to bed?
Yeah,
We agree?
but where did that even?
No more Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about? Impactful this has been on the Latinx community. Latinx community politicians are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx.
Nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
In a surprise development, France has surrendered amid the Israel-Iran conflict. Let's go to Trere for the latest.
That's right, Raj. They surrendered last night. They just don't know to who yet.
This podcast is all about. We talk about a lot of political things, but underneath all of that is the Bible. I am unapologetically 100% in favor of is the Bible. Jesus is the Word. There is no delineation. If the Bible says it, that's what Jesus is, and that's what Jesus believes. That's what this podcast is actually about, is to actually alert people to what is coming and what is our responsibility in the midst of it.